I think it also says under the blanket question of trust, she feels she can trust no one.
Like what he's saying to her, the dialogue written is much better in Russian than it was translated to English. That's the part that I don't get.
Anytime they have anything that isn't the FBI building, I'm like, that looks nothing like DC. That pissed me off back in the day too. It's like they clearly filmed this somewhere else. But.
And I'm Team Jennings as well. I don't think that they overreacted at all. Grandma, if I were Elizabeth, I would have beat the crap out of her too.
I'm gonna kill you, you stupid bitch.
Russia, I indicated, is a geopolitical foe. You know, the Cold War's been over for 20 years.
Make sure I don't do any spying around here.
Oh, you better not.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Russia, if you're listening, I hope you're able to find the 30,000.
The 1980s are now calling to ask for their foreign policy back.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Illegals, the Americans Rewatch podcast. I am Michelle Kinney. I'm here with Julie Roginsky, Nina Jankowicz, Jaclyn Urso, and Jeff Jarvis. Everyone, we're going to be talking episode 6. Episode 6 called Trust Me, which is interesting for a show about spies because there's lots of different dynamics having to do with trust between Philip and Elizabeth, between Philip and Elizabeth and the Russians, and between Paige and Henry and Nina and the FBI. There's all kinds of dynamics there. But I would love to know, what were your first takeaway? Did you like this episode? Did you not like this episode? What did you think?
I just can't wait to hear Julie go berserk about the improper parenting of the two kids.
Well, before we get to improper parenting, can I speak about the improper Russian here?
Oh my God. Are you going to talk about Vasily?
I'm going to talk about how what is in the English language, Chiron, has no bearing on what they're actually saying in Russian.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Yes. I don't know why it's so hard to just translate what they said, because they're not saying anything complicated.
Wait. In which part? The Nina and what's his face in the bed, or between Arcady and what's his name?
All of the above. But specifically about Lenin, because you weren't here last week, but I realized that the guy who Nina is sleeping with, who's the head, I don't know if he's the head of the. Who is he? Is he the head of the?
He's the resident.
He's the resident.
Yeah. So So between him and we've nicknamed him Lenin because I think they designed him Lenin and Nina. Like what he's saying to her is actually much better in Russian than what's been translated. It's like much more. Yeah, the dialogue written is much better in Russian than it was translated to English. That's the part that I don't get. The improper parenting, I actually don't blame the parents for this one, because I think she was on her way to the mall to pick up the kids. Was that supposed to be the Rockville Mall, Nina, for anybody who lives in DC? Was that like, I think that's...
Anytime they have anything that isn't the FBI building, I'm like, that looks nothing like DC. Yeah. That pissed me off back in the day, too. It's like they clearly filmed this somewhere else. But
right. I think they filmed it in Brooklyn. But when they're supposed to pick him up from the mall, she was on her way. I mean, she got kidnapped, so I can't really blame her.
And she was chopping onions.
So disappointed, Julie. So disappointed.
Can't blame him for that one. I mean, somebody needs to have a serious chat with Paige about hitchhiking.
Okay.
10 miles.
Just walk.
There's no Uber. There's no cell phone to call the neighbors.
In fairness, I actually once, when I was Paige's age, I hitchhiked.
It's coming out.
Yes. But a woman picked me up and gave me a very, very nice woman, gave me a ride to my parents' house. I know, and I was also in 7th grade, which is, I think, how old Paige is.
Did your parents know?
I'm trying to remember if my parents knew. I don't think so. I think I told them.
I would think you would remember if they would, because I can imagine what they would have said.
Like Soviet parents, I think they were like a fend for yourself. Actually, much like these parents, I had the same kind of parents who, although I don't think they were spies, were like fend for yourself parents. So I don't know that I would have gotten into trouble.
Yeah, I didn't mean to hijack all this, but I wanted to get to the parenting paper.
Yeah,
Michelle, you should start at the beginning again.
Sorry, well, I want to pick up on the Russian. I don't know, and I'll admit I didn't look at the credits for this episode, but I know in later seasons, M. Gesson was one of the they did the titles, the subtitles, and I think helped with scripting the Russian as well, so that it was authentic. But I don't know if they were helping early on. So I'd be curious to see, but I do remember like my gripes with, I think I told you guys when the series originally started, I was a late comer to loving it. And part of it was that DC looked nothing like DC. Like my husband and I at that point were living in Falls Church. I was like, what? This doesn't look anything like it, even if you rewind to the 80s. And I just found the Russian, it was good. Obviously, some people that they cast are not native speakers, but that stopped in later seasons. But I found the subtitles and what they were saying so distracting because I was like, wait, no, this isn't squaring exactly. And it's not that the substance isn't there. Like it's still the kind of the same theme. But yeah, it doesn't really get across a lot.
I'd love to know the sequence because was the script written in English and was boring, and then M. Gesson and the cast improved it in the spoken Russian, or was it the reverse?
I don't know, but I will say it's much better in Russian. Like, and it's not, by the way, it's not because Russian is a richer language or a more nuanced language, though it is. It is because I think, I think it's just that they're not translating it properly. I don't know what's so hard about just translating it properly. Like literally the stuff they're saying, as Nina said, the gist is kind of the same, but it's not what they're saying.
We should ask them. Maybe they'd have some insight for us.
I don't know. I'm happy to just translate it for everybody the way it was meant to be translated. We don't have to ask them. But anyway, I think first of all, I love Henry. Henry's so cute.
He is a little cutie. And also, I mean, I just want to say too, like how these kids obviously have no idea that their parents are spies. And it's just funny, like they have no clue. They think that their parents are boring travel agents, yet their parents are being, tortured in some building somewhere using their children as, psychological torture mechanism. But in this situation where they're in trouble, all of their survival instincts kick in. And Henry takes that bottle and whacks him. And like, they have all of these kind of street smarts about them, that they don't even know maybe why they have them or if they have them at all. And I thought that was really interesting, except for Paige not having very good judgment at all, not really seeing that this man that is picking them up in a car is super creepy and weird and they should not go with him. And that was, again, like in the background of all of this is like all this terrible news, like about women and assault and stuff lately. And just having to watch this again is just so like, just another horrible thing that could have, gone
in the current context.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's definitely interesting that Henry is the one to kind of understand how bad the situation that they're in is. And I didn't know, it was kind of unclear to me if Paige saw the knife at all or if she just had the heebie-jeebies. I think maybe she didn't see the knife. Also, she wasn't really in a position to attack this guy. But it's interesting, without spoiling anything, that Henry is the one to take action there.
You believe in God, Chief?
Yeah.
Because the society is lost if people lose faith.
Run, Paige! Run!
And obviously, I mean, Paige was, with the trust theme, she was like, Henry, do what I say. Trust me. I'm the grown up or the older sibling here. Trust me.
Not a problem.
Get in.
And this guy in the car is saying, you can trust me. And really, nowhere, anywhere can anyone be trusted. And I think that's the other part of this, is everybody's kind of out for themselves.
Just since you mentioned the word spoiler, I just want to be clear that our policy is people have watched this, right? This week, a Tokyo court ruled that movie and anime spoiler articles are copyright infringement. And the person who was spoiling this for the fans was sentenced to prison.
Whoa.
What?
Because it was a violation of copyright. Who knew that copyright was a criminal
So if I were to
matter?
if I were to tell you that Clark Gable leaves Vivian Leigh, the end of Gone with the Wind, I just spoiled the end of Gone with the Wind from 1939.
I'm coming for you.
That's it. I better not set foot in Tokyo.
I'm hiring Jaclyn before you do.
Just invoke your rights. Give me a chance.
Too soon. So that's interesting. I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yeah, me neither. And Japanese copyright law. I mean,
who knew?
I truly. I mean, I only know copyright in the United States is obvious. I mean, as a photographer too, I was always like keenly aware of where it begins and ends. That's crazy. That is bananas.
Anyway.
So back to this show. I think they overreacted on Claudia a little bit. I don't think Claudia did anything.
You think?
No.
I'm gonna kill you, you stupid bitch!
I'm gonna kill you, you stupid bitch.
I mean, I get it because she blackmailed her with the now she tried to like psychologically torture her with the kids. So like I get that, but like despite the fact that Paige is very annoying, but but I also would say like I don't know that Claudia did anything wrong. Does anyone agree?
I'm on team Jennings here. I think they had every right to be absolutely enraged.
Yeah.
If you're Claudia, how else are you going to find out if they're the mole? Like there's a mole and...
Well, she's saying she was following orders from way above.
Yeah. Well, and Philip is like, we should have been the last people you suspected.
We should be the last people you suspect.
This wasn't done lightly.
You know, at the end of the episode, Elizabeth said, you know, how do you think I feel? These are the people in which I trusted with my life. And he's like, yeah, that sounds about right.
What do you want from me?
It doesn't matter. You already did it. There's no undoing it.
You're not the only one who got hurt today. I was ripped from my house. I was attacked by the people I believed in. The people I trusted most my whole life.
Yeah, I think that says it all.
Because he trusted her. I mean, again, if you're looking at it through the lens of marriage, right? Because again, the creators of the show originally had set out to tell a story about marriage. And all of the external forces that are trying to kind of break you apart all the time. And like, you know, every single day is a battle. And I was watching Philip as Elizabeth is just beating the shit out of Claudia, you know, and he's like got the gun and then he's like, be like, come on, honey, we got to go. And it, you know, it makes me think of like if I was in a fight or an argument with someone at a bar or something and my husband's like, let's go. Even in like the darkest moment, you know, he was still taking care of her and
it's also kind of cool that she's the one who went batshit.
Yeah. That was
well,
awesome.
I get that because the kids, right? Like they heard.
I also think it's a feminist statement is that she's the one who pulled out all the strength.
Yeah. But we know that already because she almost killed, you know, she almost kicked the other guy's ass at home. It's just that somebody.
She shot
there was a second one. Well, and also I just need to say this too. So the guy that they have being like, I guess they're supposed to think that he's like an FBI agent or something, you know, torturing them. Turns out to be a Russian something or other. I'm like looking at the guy, the actor, and I'm like, who is this guy? I feel like I've seen him somewhere. Was he on?
Who was it? Because I think I know.
Well, I forget his name. I looked him up.
Robert Bogue. Robert
Bogue. And I'm going through his whole IMDb page, and I'm like, no. I was like, was he on like Mad TV?
Guiding Light, Grand Theft Auto 5, Red Dead Revolver.
He was on one episode of Sex and the City. Season 2, Take Me Out to the Ball Game. He was dating Charlotte, and he's the guy who's fixing his balls and his pants all the time.
Oh, you just wait. I'm going to give you our best of Miles Davis. It's magical. I mean, the Fusion Revolution.
There we were. 2 single gals out on the town with our ball players.
And it was like, yes. And I was like, that's him. And Charlotte goes to like buy him new underwear or something, thinking maybe it'll stop him from doing it. And he's like, wait. Hold on.
We haven't even made love yet and you're already out shopping for me? Slow down.
This is going way too fast. And I was like, that's him. I was like, that's why I'm like, he seems so clownish to me because it was such a ridiculous episode.
And he had the Southern accent, I guess, to try to make him seem a bit more American.
Yeah.
I assume that guy is exactly who Philip and Elizabeth are. I assume he's just another elite.
Yeah, probably.
Right.
Yeah.
But he had the passports.
That was weird. Yeah.
That was weird because, you know, he knew that they lived across from who they were, what their name was, the fact that they lived across from the FBI agent. Okay. The FBI would know all that. But to have gotten the physical evidence
I don't think it was the real passports. I think that he was a Russian spy just like they are, and they don't know each other. And so as the standard operating procedure, these Russian spies have multiple wigs, multiple passports. So they knew that they had the passport. So they just used some prototype and slapped it to like kind of pull the high.
Yeah.
And I'm Team Jennings as well. I don't think that they overreacted at all with Grandma. If I were Elizabeth, I would have beat the crap out of her too. I mean, that was supposed to be my handler, the one that I'm supposed to devote my trust and confidence in. Like she's representing the Russian government, and I'm doing this on behalf of the Russian government. And you're the one that set me up for this and tortured me either physically or psychologically. And because you don't trust me, like out of all people, I've kind of felt like Jennings, like that indignation, like out of all people, you're gonna accuse me? I'm putting my life on the line.
Right, but it has to be somebody. Like from their perspective, there is a mole. It has to be somebody. Like if you're Nina, who really is the mole. Like,
I don't think Grandma should have been in the room. I think Grandma should have played dumb.
I agree.
I think that was dumb that she was like kind of taking responsibility on behalf of the Russian government. She should have never been there, and they should have been some random other person representing the Russian government to go in and do what they did, because now the relationship is irreparably broken, right? They're never going to trust her again. And they're also never going to trust each other again. So I think they've done so much harm to their cause, not realizing that they were trying to root out evil, but at the same time they threw out the baby with the bathwater. It was just
what's the name of the guy who was their handler before, who retired to Russia?
Oh, Zhukov.
Well, there was a Gabriel. Wasn't they? They said something about Gabriel.
In my memory, Gabriel started the whole series, and Claudia replaced him. And I'm wrong.
Yeah. Because
I thought that Gabriel was there from the beginning. Because they had trust with him, and they didn't trust Claudia. They didn't trust the replacement from the first.
Right.
I don't know, Julie. I also think that it resets. Maybe the relationship is broken, but it also, or Jaclyn. I also think it resets the relationship in a way.
Equalizes it.
The Jennings say, we're the ones who were out there with our asses on the line. Don't fuck with us. You taught us how to do this shit, and don't think that we're going to be pansies with you.
Right.
But again, I get why the Jenningses did what they did. It's not that I'm defending them, but if you're the Soviets, somebody's the mole, and it's obviously somebody that you've trusted, because they wouldn't be in a position to be the mole if it wasn't somebody who was in a position of trust. You've got to suss out who it is. Why wouldn't you see if these people, first of all, that, and second, generally speaking, wouldn't you want to see what happens to them if they break, if the FBI gets their hands on them? Like, talk about a way to test the proposition that, let's assume that this actually were to happen and they were to get arrested and they were to get questioned by the feds. What would their reaction be? Now they know that the reaction would be nothing. Now they know they put Elizabeth in a room with her kids' pictures, and she still won't break, and that Philip still won't break. Like that's actually like, that's a good test to pass.
I definitely think it's a good test to pass, but I don't think Grandma should have been in the middle of it.
I agree that Grandma shouldn't have been there. Yeah.
Just going to say, I was sitting there thinking from the beginning, because I was like, I don't remember the FBI. Like, what's happening here? I was like, oh, it's clearly like, this is what's going on. It's a good insurance policy, right? And because, that anytime if they did get captured, right, they know that it might be their government at any time. So they're not going to break, because what's worse, dying in the hands of, or like, potentially dying in the hands of the FBI or dying in the hands of the Russian government. Like, either way, you're going to be dead. So I think that's their thought process there. But yeah, I need to bring up the wig and Philip's commitment to the bit. I love that he gets dragged in there and he's like, oh, what are you doing with me?
And it's also a horrible disguise. That is the disguise that he wears for what's her name? What's her name?
Martha.
Yeah.
He was about to go to Martha's, and that's when they put the thing over his head. Because I think here's another thing that's just funny to me, because obviously we don't really have payphones anymore. Is just like how they're strategically placed, and like the phone booth in the middle of this sidewalk wherever he is calling her. And even just living in New York, I think there's one place in all of New York City where there's.
As the youngest person here, pardon me for this, Michelle, did you ever use a payphone booth?
No, Nina's younger than myself.
I'm younger and I used one.
Oh, you're young.
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah, I used to call. Actually, there was one in my dorm. I called my parents on a payphone on September 11th. That's how I got in touch with them.
Okay.
Yeah. So and in Manhattan, Julie, you probably know this. The only phone booths that still exist are all down West End Avenue. Those like actual booths with the doors and everything.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah. I don't know that they work or anything, but anyways,
I wouldn't go in them. Tips to tourists: don't hug an Elmo. Don't go on a phone booth.
Don't hug an Elmo. No dirty Disney characters in Times Square. No. But yeah, I mean, the thing with Martha too. I mean, the thing with every time there's a scene, Martha, it hurts my soul. And then, well, first of all, I feel like maybe I missed something. You guys tell me. So Philip's like, I'm going to go see. Here comes the parenting thing. So after they come back from their car accident, quote unquote, that didn't happen.
Well, it happened. They just did it like another thing on their list. We're like, all right, let's crash the car now.
Yeah, don't even mention it to each other. Just like, we're going to drive this new.
Didn't they already like send this car out to quote unquote get like repaired? Remember?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like 3 episodes ago.
It's a pretty dorky car, so I can see them also wanting to get rid of it.
They're like, this car sucks, so let's just bang it into a tree. But he's like, I'm going to go see Martha. And she's putting her boots on and she's getting dressed. So I'm like, where's she going? And he's like, I'm going to bring her some jewelry, which also is just a little bit strange and early in the relationship, but fine. And he's like, do you have something? And she's clearly offended that he's asked her. And then she hands him something that it seems intentional that she wants to hurt him with whatever she's handing.
Yeah, it seems to have had value.
I want to take her some jewelry. Hey, do you have anything? Do you have anything?
I'm sure she'll love it.
It seems to have had value.
It was a heart. Yeah. It was a beautiful little gold heart. And so I'm sure she was given that heart at one point when the two of them kind of fell in love. You know, they were really establishing that loving, trusting relationship. And so she just kind of like threw salt in the wound, like, okay, here, I'm going to like just give you the heart that you gave me. Go give it to your fake girlfriend. And then she went to her corner and called up Gregory. I think they both found like, respite in each other's like kind of antithesis, right? Their spouse's antithesis.
Yeah. And ironically, Elizabeth obviously feels that she can trust Gregory more than anyone. I mean, that's like the pain point too.
Except Gregory was for real and Martha was for real. Like that's
right.
Elizabeth is kind of, let's be clear, Elizabeth's kind of a bitch.
Well, a little bit.
Elizabeth is just needlessly.
I kind of respect it though, a little bit.
Needlessly mean, like needlessly cruel to this poor guy who is fundamentally like a decent guy.
I love Philip, but like the first thing he does after they get out of that horrible situation is he's like, you told on me. I mean, like they clearly have issues in their relationship, but you hope that maybe that would come up after a glass of wine after they crashed the car.
Right.
I don't know.
I feel bad for Philip. I'm sorry.
I do too.
He got his heart broken, and he says that he fits in. He fits in. He does fit in, and she doesn't. She's obtuse about the whole American thing. So I think that just kind of goes along with her mantra and her personality and her emotional intelligence is that she doesn't get that piece of it, and that's what Philip gets so frustrated about. And so I felt that
when you raise the Gregory scene. I hadn't thought that much of it, but I think it also says under the blanket question of trust, she feels she can trust no one.
Mm. Yeah, because he's like, watch all these people that I've trusted my whole life with my life. Please go watch them for me. Keep your eyes on my family because I think that they're coming after me. So it's like a total,
Was it to watch Philip to protect him or watch Philip to see if he was?
I think to protect her family because I think she thinks that someone knows who she is or what she's up to because of this whole situation that just happened. And she wants Gregory to watch her surroundings to see if anyone's following her.
But don't forget, like there is a mole and they don't know who the mole is. And for all they know, they've all been compromised. Like if I were, if after that fight, after I almost killed, if I were Elizabeth and she's just been reminded of how vulnerable her kids are, because not because of the hitchhiking thing, which she doesn't know about, but because of the
Our little secret.
Yeah. The pictures of the kids. And she also understands that she almost killed Claudia. So she can't trust Claudia. She almost killed, she's basically given the middle finger to Philip just because Philip now hates her, or not doesn't hate her, but is pissed off at her. There's no trust. But still, after all of that, the one thing that I'd be most concerned about, aside from the kids, is the fact that there is a mole out there, and for all they know, have been compromised. And so, for all she knows, it's surprising that she trusts Gregory. Maybe Gregory's the mole. Like, they don't know. I mean, the truth is that we know who the mole is, but they don't.
Poor Nina too. Oof. She got herself. That caviar got her all kinds of trouble. All kinds of trouble. It's so painful to watch her with the guy, the resident guy. What's his name? I don't know. I don't know.
Vladimir Lenin, but go ahead.
Vladimir. I'm just going to call him Vladimir Lenin. It's uncomfortable. And then just to watch her like try to be a spy, like shoving stuff in her jacket, taking pictures. But then Stan, he said, trust me. And here's the thing. I think he said that in the last episode too. He's like, you have to trust me. And Nina goes, but I don't trust you.
But in this case, I thought the solution to Vasily was cool.
Yeah, it was. I wasn't. I mean, when that random guy at the tea shop threw something in the bag, I was
Where's this from? Yeah.
What's that?
Well, and do you think that Stan engineered it that way because he was like he felt so ashamed that she was in bed with him and he wanted to get her out of that particular situation? Like they could have done something similar to anybody, but he's like, no, I'm going to take this dirty old man.
Guy out of the
yeah, right. And do you think that Lennon knew when he was walking down the stairs that he knew that it was Nina?
I didn't think so.
No,
I don't think so.
Because she was looking at him and he was looking at her as they were taking him away.
I mean, he's probably cataloging who else knew.
Who else was in my office?
That he knew.
Right.
Or does he know that it was the code? So would he have known what the evidence was that there was a mole in the embassy? Or would they hold even that close to the vest in how they handle people?
Right.
I think he needs to know.
Yeah,
he needs to know because his job is to oversee the entire operation. All the spies are his. Like he is the chief handler in some respects.
Which makes it all the more ridiculous in real life that he wouldn't automatically suspect her from day one because she's got, the means, she's got the access. And I mean, I know that sometimes men are not realistic about why women.
He got honeypotted, you know what I mean?
But like he got honeypotted in a really obvious way. And he's the guy who's supposed to be in charge of the honeypotting. So like, I mean, come on. Like,
I know.
As resident, is he the equivalent of of a consul or of?
No, he's the station chief. He'd be like the CIA station chief.
He'd be the station chief. Okay, so he is a spy. Okay.
Yeah, that's the part to me that I'm like, oh, okay. Like, all of a sudden, this beautiful woman, 3 times younger than you, shows up. It's like, we're both lonely. Like, okay.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, yeah.
And by the way, he would have had a wife. He probably would have had kids.
But these they don't care.
No. My point is like, like, because they're all posed. He's not like the feds know that he's the main spy, but like the cover. Right. The diplomat.
Okay.
He would be there with his family. Like that's, the same way that the CIA, the station chief is not there, like announcing themselves as the station chief. They're like the attaché to the, I don't know, cultural desk or something at the Russian embassy. And in fact, they're the CIA and,
Well, on the one hand, Nina knows that Stan pulled a big trick out of his bag. Mm-hmm. On the other hand, she's going to be nervous when Vasily ends up back in Moscow. Because he's going to be interrogated,
right?
And they're going to try to figure out. They presume he's the mole, but they're always going to be looking for more moles, right? So she's still nervous.
Well, yeah, because I'm sure Stan's going to still have her like going through stuff and like looking for stuff. And so the passing on of information's like probably not going to stop, and they're going to continue to keep asking her to do stuff. So, I mean, if I were her, I would just be like shitting a brick, like 24/7, just like so freaked out and so scared because there's literally nothing you can do. You're trapped.
Move me to Montana, damn it.
Right. And I mean, that's the other thing is, I mean, I don't know how often these things happen, but she's like, you need to get me out of here. And Stan's like, not quite yet. And I'm just kind of like, what else do you want this young woman to be doing? Like, she's not a spy. Like, they're going to send her back to Russia and they'll just take her out because that's how the Soviets do business. You know what I mean?
I hated when Agent Gad was like, well, this is dangerous work. What do you want? It's like,
he's so miscast, that character.
I can't.
Every time he comes on, it's like, just enough, dude, enough. you're
There's
the
a coincidence then too.
He's just like, I mean, I know I've said this before, but he's just so corny, but not like in a purposeful way, like in a way that he's miscast. And it's very like, okay, one of my acting teachers used to talk about soap opera acting, right? And he was like that it's all subtext because the writing is so bad that everything that every soap opera actor does, it has subtext. And it would be like, I'm going to buy some ice cream. And like that's and that's how right, and that's how I feel like what's his name, Richard Thomas is kind of, I don't know, it's just very weird. And like he's always like performing his lines to like the back row, and it's always just a little strange to me and a little disconnected.
Another thing that I just remembered, I'm like getting taken back to just being out of graduate school. Another thing that I hated early on in the show is that they'd have these very sensitive conversations in the corridor. And I had like just done my big internship at the State Department. I was like, you can't just open a drawer. It's like a 6-thing combination lock. And like, this is a conversation for a skiff. What are you doing? Right.
So for people who don't know, SCIF is I forgot what the acronym is, Nina, maybe
Secure Compartmentalized Information Facility. It's like a wall that, or it's a room that has no windows or special types of windows. Yeah, they can't get.
Or in the case of Mar-a-Lago, it's a curtain.
Yeah, yes, in Mar-a-Lago.
We're at the bathroom.
And all of the communications that are in there have been like swept for bugs. Did I get it right, Jaclyn? Is that right?
Yeah, and you got to put your cell phone out, keep it outside.
Well, yes, but not in 1980, whatever year we're in.
Yeah.
Okay.
When I worked at DHS, my office was in a skiff, and I had a window, but they glazed it over, so I could never tell what time of day it was.
Oh, that's
or what was going on outside. And my office at DHS it's literally in an old insane asylum, which is just a little too on the nose. But anyway.
Did you have a cell phone in the SCIF in your office or no?
No, I had to leave everything out in the little like ante room along with like my Apple Watch and everything, which freaked me out because I was pregnant and I was like, what's going to happen? Not that I don't know my husband's cell phone number, but yeah.
Yeah. which like I think even more so when that picture that was going around when we were, I forget whatever it was, we were evading or bombing somebody, and Susie Wiles has her Apple Watch on, and then they've got something in the background, and there's like taking pictures of people's phones. Like it's
it was the Venezuela one, and they had a search for Venezuela in the search bar of Twitter. It's like, this is where we're getting our intel from. Oh my god!
Where in Twitter? Where is Venezuela?
Right. How do you spell Venezuela?
How do you spell Venezuela? Caracas?
Right.
OPSEC not so good at fake FBI.
And by the way, I mean, I know we have Kash Patel as FBI director now, so I should.
Well, for a few minutes we think, we don't know.
Yeah, I shouldn't make. By the time this airs, we may not. But as of today, when we're recording this, Kash Patel is still the FBI director. So I probably shouldn't make fun of Richard Thomas as whatever his role is. I guess he's the counterintelligence, because he's kind of, but that's the most clown car FBI I've ever seen in my life.
Well, the entire cabinet is the clown car in charge.
Well, in real life, but I would think the Reagan era FBI, and who ran the FBI at this point in 1982?
Was it still Hoover?
No, Hoover died. He died.
When did he die?
Yeah. Nixon, I think.
When did Herbert Hoover die?
I think.
Oh wow, yeah, 64. Okay, so
Oh yeah.
who was the director of the FBI in 1983? Webster.
Webster. See, like Webster was the real deal. Webster wasn't a clown like Richard Thomas.
Okay, stop.
Siri, stop.
Okay, stop doing it.
Give me the whole William Webster biography. So yeah, I don't know. The whole thing is just kind of a little bit of a clown car situation there. And as is Vasily, who's also a clown car, because again, a guy who's running honeypots should not be honeypotted by a secretary. Like,
yeah.
Ask yourself, my man, is she really that lonely? Are you really that lonely?
I know, because she's like hot. You know what I mean? Like hot and young, and like,
and especially because she's got that other guy flirting with her.
Oh yeah,
hot young Russian guy.
Yeah.
And suddenly, like, she's sleeping with this guy, unless she's just totally power hungry. But then ask yourself, why would she be wanting to sleep with the guy who's, So I don't.
Yeah,
it's a little.
Well, and the subservience, the abuse of a BJ under the desk.
Ugh. Yeah.
It's just so tawdry.
It's so rough, man.
Later on, she's in bed with him in the last encounter, but the first is
Yeah. Well, because at the beginning of the episode, when they go last week on The Americans, they play that little scene in the park.
How did you get him to talk?
He sucked his cock, just like you told me to.
I never said that. I never said that, Nina.
It's like, what did you do to get him to talk? And she's like, I sucked his cock like you told me to. And he's like, Jesus, Nina, no, I didn't tell you to do that. And I was remembering when my husband and I were first watching this show.
Where's this going?
No. When Joe and I were first watching this show, and Joe thought that line was so funny because Joe would suck his cock, and I was like, stop! I don't ever want to think about it. La, la, la.
That got on the air.
Yeah.
On AMC. Wow.
Yeah.
What was FX? Yeah.
FX. I mean, wow, but still.
Yeah. But I mean, and obviously Stan was bothered by it. I think there was like a jealousy aspect, but also I think just because the Americans, I think, pride themselves on maybe like not honeypotting and not doing those things when Rush, I don't know. Like that's a kind of what I got. Maybe I'm wrong, but like Stan just kind of seemed like, Jesus Christ, like, Nina, didn't tell you to do that. Like gross. Like, that's too much. I think too much of you for you to do something like that.
I think he's saying that to like bring her along so that she thinks he cares.
Really?
Of course. Okay. Americans honeypot people? Of course we do.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure.
I mean, we do. I don't know if we shoot people in the head the way the Russians do, but I think we pretty much do.
No, we just do it in the street, just out in the open.
What's interesting is that if you're Nina, and what you just said is that she's like, they're going to take me back to Russia. They're going to put a bullet in my head because that's what I said to her.
Mm-hmm.
Then, of course, you think about what the Soviets what the Jenningses have been taught by the Russians, which is the same thing. That they put a bullet in your head also, even though that's not what we do as far as I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and another thing I was thinking too, because there were a lot of moments, right? Like, oh shit moments between all of those storylines of like, Nina hearing, we're going to put a bullet in their head. And she's like, oh shit. And, Paige being like, oh shit, when, they're at the little pond or whatever, like this isn't good. But then also Philip having that oh shit moment when he's being questioned and tortured and, beaten, of them saying, oh, your kids, I guess they were technically born here, but would they be sent back to Russia? I guess they don't speak Russian. And I immediately was thinking about the scenario where the South American Russian / American people were sent back, and those poor kids, man. I always think about that one picture.
I really want a follow-up story.
Seriously, that little girl's face was like, what is happening? Why is Vladimir Putin here? What's going on? Because they didn't even tell those kids until they
were on the plane.
And what year was that?
A couple years ago.
It was very recent. And this episode aired in 2013, right? And that was so much,
But it's not just them. I don't remember the stories back from before the show was filmed, but a lot of these people had kids. There was a follow-up story that I read somewhere that the couple who I think the Jenningses were based on, their kids chose to stay. If I'm not mistaken, I think their kids chose to stay here.
I think you're right.
Wow.
Yeah. And I'm curious as to whether they have a relationship with their parents.
Woof.
Yeah.
Woof.
I mean, of course, like, why would you not choose to stay here? But I think those kids were older. I think those kids might have been like college age or
okay. That makes a little bit more sense. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I keep thinking again, the psychological impact that this would have on the kids. Like, you'd never trust anybody again.
No one ever again. Which again brings us back to, right, the trust. The theme of this episode, right? It's like the kids really can't trust their parents to tell them the truth either. And that's painful, but it's also just part of their reality that they're completely unaware of.
The one duo that gained in trust in the show, right, is the two kids.
Yeah.
Between themselves.
Yeah.
Themselves.
And poor little Henry came home and he had the little accident in his pants. I was like,
oh my God, I love him. He's such a sweet boy.
I saw that and I was like, I better not be dealing with accidents in 5 years. Jesus Christ.
How old is Henry supposed to be? 10?
I think he's like, maybe he's 10. Yeah, I thought he was 8 when I said that, but yeah, he's probably 10.
Yeah.
But I guess everybody pees their pants sometimes.
I mean, I get it. I guess. Yeah.
For yourself.
Yeah. But,
yeah.
But he's so cute and sweet.
He is cute and sweet. And again, survival instincts. Again, who knew? And Paige, and also them being at the mall by themselves, like, made me feel some kind of way, especially after her situation in the pilot when she's at the mall with her dad and like that really bad guy Errol getting on her. I was like, why is she at the mall again? All the bad things are happening at the mall.
But the 80s, and that's what you do.
Yeah, and you're like, I have to
didn't have play dates back then.
Somebody who grew up in the 80s, that is the only place to have been. You got the Limited, the Orange Julius. What else?
I was gonna say, yeah. I guess my friends and our parents would be like, can you bring me to the mall?
Even my generation, 90s kids, man.
Yeah,
we went
at the
meet
mall.
me at the fountain. Like,
yeah.
I got dropped off at Quaker Bridge Mall, and my parents picked me
Quaker
up.
Bridge, Jersey girls represent. Yes.
Where's that? Where is it?
It's in New Jersey.
Oh, New Jersey, Central Jersey, the Promised Land.
Yeah.
What, pork roll or Taylor ham here, Julie?
Taylor ham.
I call it pork roll.
Wait.
Oh, that's weird.
They both sound gross.
You call it pork roll, Nina? Where are you from? What part of New Jersey?
Hillsborough. I grew up in Hillsborough.
Ew, but that's not South Jersey. Why would you call it Hillsborough? No, Hillsborough is beautiful, but that's not New Jersey. Why would you?
I don't know. We had a lot of weird splits in my house. Like, we weren't Eagles fans, of course not.
You call it a hoagie or a sub?
Kind of both, but we said hoagie more frequently, I think.
Hoagie too. We said hoagie.
Yeah, you were on the line. Hillsborough's on the line.
Well, I'm from Waynesboro, same thing. Totally.
I feel like a fish out of water here.
You got a problem
all you Jersey people. I'm like, all your weird things that you say.
All three of us are from Central Jersey, which is
Strong Island.
Wait,
true.
Where's Jeff from?
I now live in Basking Ridge.
Okay.
Which is just north of Hillsborough.
Yeah.
And I went to elementary school in Cinnamon in true South Jersey.
Cinnamon.
That's South Jersey, Jeff. You're like legit South Jersey.
That's Yo land.
No, that's
for our non-New Jerseyans. You need to also know that New Jersey is the blueberry capital of the world. Hamilton, New Jersey. Look at your blueberries this year. They're gonna say they're from New Jersey.
I love a Jersey tomato. I'm not gonna lie.
Jersey tomato.
My mom is like a New Jersey propagandist. Every year she posts on her Facebook profile about all of our delicious fruits and vegetables.
Your cranberries too.
Cranberries, yeah.
But cinnamon.
Cinnaminson. CINNAMINSON.
That doesn't even seem real.
Named after the Cinnamon Indians.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. That makes more sense then. And that's South Jersey?
That's South Jersey. That's Philadelphia suburbs.
So you say water there. Water ice?
Me.
No, not you, but the others. The others.
The others.
Yeah. The others.
Well, they have more of a Philly accent down there.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
I say water, and people are like, how do you spell that? I'm like, WUDDER, water.
Well, so I'm actually from the Midwest. My wife is a Jersey girl. So how do you pronounce BURY?
Barry. I say
Barry.
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 Yeah.
A lot of Jerseyans say Bury.
Bury?
That's weird.
How do you say DRAWER?
What? Say it again.
Drawer.
Oh, drawer.
A lot of New Jerseyans say draw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
And Long Island is draw.
Yeah.
And it's
That
not
sounds right.
it's not a lot of people don't say Newark, New Jersey, say North. Anyway.
I also live in Long
and
Island.
then
No T in Trenton.
And then in upstate New York, they say drawer, with like all the nasal. Yeah.
All
Well,
right.
trust. So all the trust. Where does this leave us into next week? Philip and Elizabeth obviously having some sort of situation. I mean, where do we see their relationship with Granny, and where do we see it going with each other?
Their trust with each other is broken, and they're going to have to work really hard. It took them 15 years to get up to that level of trust. I mean, right before she left in the morning, she gave him a kiss. It was like a nice little
By
kiss.
the way, you know the big adage in with Chekhov, right? Every time you see if there's a gun in Act 1, it will be fired in Act 3. If you see them have any kind of physical affection in the beginning part of the show, they will want to be killing each other by the end of that show.
It's a very good point.
It is Chekhov's gun.
Right.
FYI.
But I mean, again, looking at the show through the lens of marriage and relationships, that's, if you're looking at a wheel of emotion through anger is lust, through sadness is joy. I mean, that's real life, That's real life.
Okay, well, on that depressing note, Michelle.
I think that's depressing.
I think that's beautiful.
Yes.
Very eloquent.
And that very that is
depressing.
It wasn't up to Chekhov, perhaps, but I think it was good.
It wasn't
I can't wait.
Elizabeth's kiss, but yes.
I can't wait to see Elizabeth and Granny meet up again for the first time after she just pummeled her face.
Yeah, and
I can't wait for that interaction.
Yeah, her face is going to be ass. You know what I mean? Yeah.
She put a beat down on her. I was like,
She really
yeah,
did.
get her.
and whomever did the makeup for Margot Martindale, honestly, and that, she really did look very puffy and very realistically shit beaten out of. So good job to makeup department.
All right, you guys. Great to see everybody this week. We will see everybody next week for episode 7.
Yes, and yes, episode 7. And to everyone else, if you're new here, please like and subscribe to the Mayday Network. We're so happy you're here.
Bye.
We'll see y'all next week. Bye.
You are listening to the Mayday Network.